we're going to go straight into the interview. So we hope you'll give a warm welcome to Andy Lawrence, aka Espio. Hi and welcome to the show. Can you please just start by introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about your background? And where does the stage name of Espio come from?
Hi there, my name is Espio. I am a London-based DJ and producer. I mix a variety of genres, everything from drum and bass and dubstep to electro house and K-pop. I'm a huge fan of bass music and all its crazy subgenres, but I also have a very guilty pleasure for K-pop, and therefore when I'm DJing and producing I like to blend the two together to what I would describe as K-bass. Although normally these genres of music are very contrasting and have a very different fan base, my goal is to successfully blend the two and bring it to the masses. I could invent a crazy backstory as to where the name Espio came from. It actually hailed from when I wrestled a panda whose name was Espio, and out of honour he said that I should call my DJ alias after his family and that I would honour him forever. But in actual reality, the name Espio is nothing special. It's actually more of a plea for I need to set up some social media and I need a name. But if you Google Espio, you will find a character from Sonic the Hedgehog, so let's leave it at that.
When did you start doing mashups and mixes, and what made you decide to start mixing in a bit of a Korean flavour?
So I started doing this about 2 years ago now, making mashups, mixes, DJing and producing. I'm very interested in blending Korean acapellas and voices with westernized bass music. What I find is bass music in general often doesn't have vocals, and I think this opens up a very nice opportunity to blend it with some K-pop, taking the acapellas of Korean songs and putting them over heavy bass tracks. So far has shown some interesting results. I'm a huge fan of mixing bass music, drum and bass and all that, but what I've found is that there is a kind of gap in the market at the moment for K-pop. Is obviously here on the radio, but I think it's something that can go down incredibly well in a club atmosphere, and this is why I'm trying to take it and put more of a kind of electronic, bassy edge on this Korean pop to kind of put it into that club atmosphere. And so that's what really kind of draws me into mixing Korean pop at the moment.
DJ, mashup artist, music producer, some say there are big differences between them all. What do you think about this though? And what label do you think that you fall under?
DJ, mashup artist or producer, are they different? Yes, I would definitely say they do have their differences. Obviously your DJ is just spinning straightforward tunes in your club, whereas mashup and music producers are more involved in the making side of things. I think it's really important these days. There's a huge crossover between when, most DJs will make their own tunes, so there'll be a producer and there'll be a DJ. Me personally, I definitely obviously fall under the DJ category, playing stuff out in clubs, and also I guess mashup producer because I release things online and I create content that I put out. In terms of actual producing original tunes, that's something that's in the works, so definitely stay tuned for that.
We have to say the quality of your mashups is fantastic. What sort of setup do you use though?
The quality of my work is fantastic. That is questionable, but very kind of you. I very much appreciate that. My setup, well, I'm a huge fan of controllers and controllerism, which is basically laptop DJing, and it's using all kinds of MIDI controllers to trigger music, play clips, samples, especially when mixing K-pop. K-pop, I think, is not generally made to be mixed in a traditional DJ sense. There's no kind of long intros or breakdowns or things where you can traditionally mix things in. This is why I opt for a MIDI controller based setup, because it enables me to do things like trigger acapellas over tunes. I can create samples, and it allows me to mix things a lot quicker and in a very different sense to your traditional DJing where you'll be using CDJs. So my current setup at the moment, I'm using Serato DJ with a Twitch controller and an Ovation Launchpad as well, and that's for things like, again, triggering samples, clips, acapellas, and even performing mashups live.
Following on from that, how do you decide what songs to include? Is it more a case of what's popular now, or is it more what's currently on your playlist? And have you ever written your own music to mix in?
Well, this entirely depends on the event itself and also the length of the set. If you're playing for a good couple of hours in a club, you can be a lot more experimental, but as long as you're playing stuff that people can dance to and they're having a nice time. Whereas if you're playing on, say, at a festival or like a big outdoor stage, yes, depending on the crowd that is there, I would tailor my set to their needs, essentially. So it's always chopping and changing, and of course you're checking the crowd's reaction on the actual day and seeing what they're enjoying, and you just kind of take it from there. And yes, of course, I love to throw in my own productions, so a lot of my mashups and things, when I'm DJing out for K-pop events, I will usually throw those in.
How does it feel to get such praise and admiration from so many people? And what's been your biggest achievement so far?
How does it feel to get such praise from so many people? Again, you sir are too kind for that. Much appreciated. But my biggest achievement so far, I've got to say one of the proudest moments was actually last month when I DJ'd on the outdoor stage at MCM Expo in London. This was possibly the best experience I've ever had, and it was literally, there was thousands and thousands of people outside on this stage, and it was right after a massive hailstorm, and everyone just came out. It was a full-on 45-minute K-pop set. We had people in the front going absolutely crazy. They knew all the tunes, they were singing along, and it was just a fantastic experience. Doing these outdoor festival-type events, definitely the highlight for me so far.
Have there also been times where you've faced criticism though?
So far, I haven't faced any criticism, but I actually see this as a bad thing. Them haters, everyone's favourite friends, they only show up when people get popular. So the fact that the haters haven't arrived yet is an indication that I'm not actually doing too well. So hopefully, as I get better and get a bit more popular, more and more haters will arrive. So if you're listening to my mix later on, feel free to leave some hateful comments and boost my ego to make me feel like I'm doing better.
Who do you look to for inspiration?
Well, I actually look to fellow DJs and producers, people who are doing exactly the same thing that I'm doing. I'd love to go out and see DJs perform live, and unfortunately I'm one of those annoying snobby people that sits there and judges the DJ for everything he's doing, purely based on the fact that I'm so incredibly interested in what they're doing, and I pick up every little thing, everything from their persona on stage when they're DJing to obviously their equipment, their sets, their tracks, and things like that. And obviously on the K-pop side of things, a lot of singers, I'm very, very interested in the kind of variety of voices and how I can blend that into my mixes.
When did you first start getting into K-pop? And do you remember what your first song was?
Yes, I remember this moment like it was yesterday. It opened up my eyes to an entirely new genre of music, and I've never looked back. It was one of my friends, actually. Big shout out to Ju Young, who introduced me to K-pop. We were sat in my room at university, and he showed me Lee Hyori's You Go Girl, and I was instantly captivated by the music, and of course the lovely music video for those who've seen it. That was my first K-pop song, and since then I've never looked back.
Can you name your favourite male or female group and male or female solo artist?
Okay, let's start with the girls. My favourite K-pop girl group is Secret. I am massively in love with both Hansona and Hyosung. I absolutely love their music. They do everything from the sexy to the cheerful to the dancey. I love all of you, Secret, and your music always cheers me up. Favourite female soloist has got to be CL. I'm absolutely obsessed with her voice. Her rapping is crazy. She's just a fantastic frontman. She leads the stage so well. Her performances are epic, and I do have a crush on her as well. And now for the guys, my favourite K-pop guy group has got to be SHINee. They've got so many good tunes in their catalogue. Most recently, they released Everybody, which was a banging tune. Favourites like Why So Serious as well, they go down so well in my sets. Favourite male solo artist? Definitely got a bit of a man crush on Kim Tae-woo. Love Rain is such an epic song. There's no other way to describe it apart from I want to sing it standing on top of a mountain with dragons flying around and possibly unicorns. It's just that amazing.
What K-pop comeback are you most anticipating this year?
Well, I'm absolutely ecstatic for Sistar's comeback. I've got a massive crush on Bora and Hyorin. And also the new teaser for C Clown that just came out. They released a massive drum and bass tune recently, and this one is just as beastly, and my love for bass music, I'm so excited to see what they've got coming.
Can you name your ideal collaboration between a Korean artist or group and a Western artist or group?
My ideal collaboration kind of already happened. I nearly wet my pants when I saw that Skrillex was collaborating with CL and G-Dragon. That tune literally made my dreams come true. I'm a huge fan of all of those people. I think CL and G-Dragon together, combined with any kind of Western crazy bass artist, would make an epic result.
If you had the chance in the future, would you like to work on doing official remixes of Korean songs? And if so, what Korean singer or group would you ideally like to work with?
Yes, absolutely, 100% yes. It would be a dream to collaborate on a remix or work with a K-pop star. I would absolutely love to work with Hyuna. I think her voice would go so well with the kind of stuff that I'm trying to do. She's a great vocalist, and of course she raps very well, which would go really nicely with the kind of things I have in store. So Hyuna, if you're out there and you're listening to this, which I hope you are, please call me. I'll give you my number somehow, somewhere.
And finally, if you want to give a shout out to any friends, family, or your YouTube fans, please feel free to do so now.
So first of all, just want to say big thanks for having me on the show. Shout outs to, again, I'm Young for introducing me to K-pop, Suji from Miss A for being gorgeous, Ninja Photographer for taking some epic videos and photos of my performances, the guy at McDonald's who gave me extra chocolate sauce on my sundae, my friend Chris for sending me plenty of inappropriate K-pop gifts and clogging up my inbox, Alvin for helping me get some of the best gigs I've ever done, and of course everyone who listens to my stuff online, all of you guys listening right now, and of course big shout to Mr. Riley for having me on the show. So, hope you enjoy my mix. My name is Espio. If you want to find out more information about me, you can go to www.espiomusic.co.uk to find more of my K-pop related mixes and mashups.